Welcome back to the sweatshop. In today's video, we're going to be working on this 2009 Subaru Forester. What we're doing in today's video is we're going to be showing you how to service the transmission and rear differential on this particular Forester. Now, I want to be clear up front. This is not what you would normally see for a 2009 Subaru Forester with a manual transmission. What that means is that the transmission on this particular car and the differential are out of a 2004 Subaru Forester. So if you've ever had questions about whether that would bolt up, the answer is yes. Does it work? Yes. Now, what's different about a 2009 versus a 2004 Forester? Well, two things, magical things. The drain plugs for the transmission as well as the differential and the fill plug for the rear differential are different, which I personally like. The other things that are different are the types of fluid. I'm pretty sure for 2009 it's 75W90, it's 8090 for the transmission on a 2004, and it is 7590 for the rear differential, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be throwing in 8090 into it anyhow. We've got a little bit of 7590, so that'll go into it. But yeah, I just want to make sure you guys know this and see this at the beginning of the video. Other than that, you can learn from how it is I do it and the process in general, and you can implement those sorts of tips and tricks on your own vehicle when you're servicing it to make sure you don't have any issues that tissues won't solve. That being said, a bit of background about my particular vehicle. This service was supposed to be done last year at some point. Unfortunately, I got busy, and like everything with mechanics in their own vehicles, it usually gets put on the back burner because, well, money is always the number one thing that you need to make in order to survive. So yeah, it got pushed quite a bit. The transmission is making some funny noises now when I let it out, especially the colder that it gets, which usually indicates that we have condensation and crap inside of the fluid. Hopefully nothing too bad. Of course, the transmission in my vehicle is quite old. My original vehicle was just shy of 500,000 kilometers, and I put it into this thing at about, I think it was about 220 something, 200 and some odd thousand kilometers. So this transmission basically, and the differential in the rear, has just shy of 600,000 kilometers on it. So yeah, it's done pretty well. So if it's going to continue to make noise after I change out the fluid, I can't really complain. Plus, I mean, I've maintained it fairly well up until this last little while, and you know, I'm about 40,000 over on the change, I think. So yeah, kind of my own fault. At the end of the day, it's got almost 600,000 on it. It doesn't owe me anything. So yeah, I'm not, looking for the noise to go away. I'm pretty sure it will help. But essentially what the noise is, the car's nice and quiet. You let the clutch out in neutral and you'll hear the tranny making some noises like it's got some crap inside. So we're going to drain it out and hope that takes care of business. As for the differential, it is an LSD. This drivetrain is from a 2004 XS Forester with a 5-speed, obviously. And the LSD rear differential, well, it still works, but it definitely doesn't have all of that bite like it used to so many years ago when I got my 2004. That being said, yeah, not much else to know. Get the crush washers or gasket. Truthfully, I can't remember the last time I actually replaced the crush washer for my rear diff, for the drain plug on the transmission. But for the rear diff, if you have a 2009, it'll have that stupid hex key, so you'll definitely need the gaskets. And it'll have that stupid T70 Torx bit, which I can't stand. Keep in mind that the torque spec is different depending upon the type of gasket that you get. I believe it is higher with copper or copper gasket, and it is lower considerably with an aluminum. So make sure you look those torque specs up for your own particular vehicle. Now, to do this job, to make it easy on yourself, all you're going to do is get yourself a graduated cylinder. Make sure you get the correct type of fluid and a funnel so you can complete this job. If you have an older transmission or older Subaru, you're going to love doing this service because it is so much easier than that stupid T70, which I cannot stand. It's a 24 mil for the drain plug, which I quite like. In terms of a graduation or cylinder, basically what we're talking about is just a jug with some sort of reading on the side that you can understand and know how much fluid you have drained into or drained out of your vehicle. That being said, before we get started with today's video and I continue to ramble on, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you never miss one of my new videos. Now, let's put this thing up in the air. Of course, if you are going to partake in this job, don't be an idiot and get underneath your car without jack stands. No one wants to save themselves a few dollars only to die underneath their shitbox. Bad. All right, let's lift the car up. Now, this transmission, well over 500,000, close enough to 600,000, has had its fair share of shit thrown at it through that gear lever by myself. And you can see here, we don't have any leaks or any issues that tissues won't solve. Pretty impressive. Honest to God, the 5-speed transmission paired with a single cam and non-turbo engine really are just, they're good, man. Like, I haven't had any issues. And yeah, I really love this tranny. I've had like, the only problem with these trannies, it's not even the tranny itself, but it's the stupid reverse switch that fails on the Subarus. I've been failing for years, to be honest. Like, I replaced it once when it was a 2004 and then in a 2009. All that being said, because I'll ramble on and talk about my car forever, the drain plug is the best thing that Subaru ever did. I can't stand the T70. It's such a dumb plug. Like, I don't know why they went to it, to be honest. And they're using it on every single one of their transmissions, even the automatics with the CVT as well. All the front differentials all have that stupid T70. I just don't like it. This by far better design. You get a nice 24 mil and crank it off. I'm pretty sure it's 24. I don't think it's a 22, but you know, it has been a while. No, it's a 22. Grab a Johnson bar, whatever. Oh, might be a 21 now. Let's see. I could be wrong. Oh, yeah, it's a 21. Don't listen to me. Now, see, this is a perfect teaching moment. This is why you watch me make an ass out of myself on camera, so that you don't do the same thing. My 2004 was rust-proof to hell, and you can still see it. I mean, it does last, but the shit just, ugh, you know. Anyhow, get yourself a 21 mil and crank that guy loose. All right. Now let's get our bucket and the funnel. Where are you, funnel? Oh man, I did a CVT change and used the same funnel like 3 weeks ago, and dude, it still stinks like death. It's so nasty. I hate CVTs. Anyhow, yeah, I did check my fluid. It looked pretty nice, but you can see the quality of that guy there. It's pretty saturated with shit. So the dipstick, even though it may look nice and pretty, she ain't, brother. You gotta change it. And I think it's been like 3 years now, or actually it's been about 4 years that I haven't changed it, because I haven't done it since I swapped everything over. It does smell pretty nasty. And you can see there, we got a lot of fuzztacular metal filings there we gotta wipe off this shit. So yeah, she should hopefully be nice and quiet. And it's around wintertime too, where you're most gonna hear that wonderful you know, sort of noise coming up from the transmission. So anyhow, we're gonna let it sit here and drain for a good 20-30 minutes. We might even just go to the rear differential now, but I want to yeah, you know what, we're gonna do the diff, because the fill plug or portion to fill this is on the top where the dipstick is. That's where you fill it from. So yeah, let's go to the bench. We'll talk a bit about this and yeah, do some more talking and blabbing and stuff. Key to success here with this guy, make sure you wipe everything off. Of course, if you're in the United States, get some brake clean, spray it down. If you're in Canada like myself, well, wipe it down, because brake clean doesn't work in our country anymore, you know? Gets really piss poor, so doesn't make any sense. Of course, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you'll know that how I feel about that. Anything that our Canadian government touches or puts its hands on usually is ruined by the same government. So yeah, you know, like our country, just we're not in good shape. And for Canadians who think we are, well, yeah, these little chunks, I got a few little chunks in there, but nothing big. So, you know, trying to get my pick, clean that guy up. Anyhow, brake clean. Use it if you have it. If you don't, well, you probably live in Canada. I wonder if anybody knows of any companies that have come out with something that works now, because I mean, the shit from the past used to work great. Like, I'd blast this plug off, it'd be dry, void of any sort of oil, and now I couldn't I could piss on it and it'd do a better job. But you know, whatever. Clean up some of that stuff there. Yeah, our gasket's still in good shape. You can see there, so I have no problems reusing that. And yeah, people will say, well, you know, it's not going to crush and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't care. I've used it, I don't know how many times, and it works. But of course, you do you. Replace it if you want. We have no problems with that. We're not going to judge you because, well, we're nice folks here in and around the GTA and Toronto. Now, well, there can be nice folks. A lot of them are assholes. Anyhow, that's good there. Let's move to our differential. We'll drain that out. You don't need the graduated cylinder for that portion. You can just drain it out into a bucket because the fill plug will dictate how much fluid you put into the thing. Now, this is also another plug that I favor instead of the 10 mil plug or 10 mil hex plug that is used by Subaru on a lot of their newer stuff. I can't, well, pretty much all of their newer stuff. I can't think of anything else that's using something different, but it's pretty annoying. These plugs here, you can see this is 600,000 basically. It's rusted. Yes, I have to spend a bit more time cleaning it up, but it works. I never have to replace, I've never had to replace them. So that really tells you all you need to know. Now, special shout out to my friend Nielsen. Neil gave me this, the proper tool, because, well, he's never going to use it again. I don't even know what company that is, but if you'd like to get it, just look this up. And Subaru diff plug. Also, don't drop it into your drain plan because I'm going to get dirty and stuff. But special shout out to my buddy Neil. He's always been good to me, always helps me out. And yeah, just an awesome guy, you know. Anywho, this is a 13 mil plug and you gotta force this guy in here because it is the actual proper size. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna use my 1/2 inch, which is slightly smaller. Can you use a 1/2 inch? Yes, you can. Do you need to have that plug? No, you don't. But is it nice to have one? Yes, it is. You can see my 1/2 inch get in there all the way. Oh my God, that shit is tight, brother. You should be doing this more less every 3 years at a minimum. 2 years is what I would recommend, or 50,000. You can see what happens when you leave it for 4+ or almost 5. Not the car's fault. It is my fault. Whatever. Shit happens. God damn it. I'm gonna move this fucking stupid thing out of the way. All right. There we go. We got her going with my fucking brake bar. She's nice and taut. Huh? I mean, that's usually a good sign, my man. Trying to wiggle it all up in there, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's get a ratchet now. We're gonna get a flex ratchet. Titan. Nice size of ratchet, these guys here, but they're a real piece of shit company. Not only is warranty a pain in the ass to get, which they said lifetime warranty, but I bought it from Princess Auto, and Princess Auto, well, sir, we don't keep history for more than 2 years. I don't care. It says lifetime warranty, and the company that you buy it from to sell to people says that we should be warrantying it where we bought it. So yeah, give me my damn ratchet. Anyhow, I'm having to go through that now, so pain in the dick. Now, the last time we went and put some Teflon tape on this thing. I think this time we're going to use some silicone. I should be able to wind it out of there by hand. Now, another thing you'll notice with me using my ratchet and stuff like that, there's no real spring back or any sort of tension that goes through my joint. With the hex, you'll see in videos where I've done it in the past, there's a lot of spring back, man, and it hurts your joints. That's a big reason as to why I really like this style of plug. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up now. Yeah, you can see she's dirty. Real dirty. Anyhow, let her drain out. We'll go over and clean that plug up on the bench along with the other plug as well. Now, specifically what we need to clean up is the rust ridge that forms and all that wonderful Teflon tape. So we're going to take it over to the wire wheel, let that guy drain, and take care of business. Okay, yeah, no way that's coming out, buddy. Get a ratchet. Now, all we got to do is basically clean that rust ridge off. So I'm going to give you a bit of a sample here. Now, I know what you might be thinking. There's a lot more work involved, which is this, as opposed to the hex key. Here's the thing. I would spend 10 minutes cleaning this as opposed to the hex key. The reason being is the hex key itself, well, if it breaks off and you have to air hammer that stupid thing out, you could potentially crack or damage your differential. So, which one would you rather? Something that is tried, true, and tested that works, or a stupid hex key that may strip out and cause you headaches? Now, of course, most times, especially now with the invention of those RBT or whatever sockets from Mac or I think it's Grip Edge or whatever, yeah, you can get them out, so that works as well. But I just preferred these plugs more so. Now, that's pretty much the result you want there. You can go ahead and scrape away at that rust. This portion here is really not going to do much of anything. It's this portion that's nice and clean that's going to do the sealing. Make sure you put a little bit of silicone on it to make sure that you don't have all kinds of crap, well, moisture going in and fluid leaking out. Now, I'm gonna go finish this one off camera and I shall be back. Oh, in case you're wondering, there is a difference. That guy doesn't have the magnet. Fill plug is the one that has no magnet, and the drain plug is, of course, the one that has the magnet. I'll be back. Okay, so it's been a while. I've gone ahead, cleaned my stuff up, and put some silicone on it. Now all I gotta do is thread in our wonderful plug. Ideally, you should wipe out the hole, but yeah, you know, it's fine. You know. Move my drain pan across, get my little ratchet tool, and just snug it up. Torque spec for both top and bottom plugs, drain and fill, is 36.2 foot-pounds or 49 newton meters. So basically 37 or 50 newton meters. If you want the Jimmy torque spec, I just torque all of these older plugs to 40 foot-pounds. And yeah, that keeps her nice and happy. All right. Oh yes. Yes, keep tightening. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, spectacular. All right. Now we can get our rag, take off the little silicone booger, and proceed with filling up our differential. Yes. Just wipe it around. Oh yes. Oh, don't get the silicone booger spread all over the place. That's terrible. No one likes that. Nobody likes that. Now, in order to fill up these types of situations, you want a dual pump fluid pump. What I have is a Honda transmission piece. I don't even know what the hell this thing does, but it pumped fluid at some point in its life, and basically it's just a fluid pump. So what we're gonna do is stick our wonderful, well, suction end into our wonderful 75W80 concoction. Look at that. We filled it up to 900 milliliters and we're going to pump it in. I think this thing only takes about, I think it's only 0.8 mil or 800 milliliters. Stupid Jimmy. I think it only takes about 800 milliliters. Nonetheless, we're going to fill up as much as it wants. And we'll go from there. One tool I have to make for the shop that I haven't done is something to hold these bottles while I use this goddamn tool, because these things love to fall over and make my life a pain in the ass. Of course, none of this has anything to do with our wonderful videos, so you just ignore it. Yeah? It'll probably end up in the bloopers, because yeah, you know, when I try to make a small video, I usually end up making it too long because I like to ramble on too goddamn much. Anyhow, begins a pumping. You know what we better do? Move the drain pan over so it doesn't spill onto the floor. There we go, yeah. Oh, I can't get the goddamn thing apart now. That is my plug. Oh, I don't know if I put silicone on it. Put a little bit of silicone on it. Now, as you can see here, we got our silicone wonderfully spread. And now what we must do is, well, wipe off our hands because we don't want that shit in the goddamn tool. Gonna get any 1/2-inch ratchet and we're going to screw it in once we take this off. Oh, pain in the ass. Take that thing off. Oh, fuck. Almost dropped the oil. That would have been very, very bad. Teflon tape, if you're using that, you don't want any more than, you know, 1 or 2 windings. If it's the really thin stuff, no more than, I don't know, probably say 3 or 4 windings around the actual piece. Get your torque wrench. Well, we still got about a liter. Well, we got about 200 milliliters in there, so yeah, that's fine. Now get your torque wrench and torque away. Now, of course, get rid of the silicone boogers and wipe up the oil because, of course, brake clean doesn't work in the country of Canada anymore. Yeah, everybody loves that. Such a good government here in Canada. Just to be clear, I don't like any of them, to be honest. They all suck. But I think our biggest problem as Canadians is thinking that our government is helpful for us. No, they're not. They suck. All of them. Well, that's that for the differential. All you got to do now is periodically look underneath the back of your car to see if there's any leaks coming from it. If there is, well, you screwed something up and you should rewatch the video. Or one of my other videos where I'm more helpful and coherent and talking less about our shit government. Now, on to the transmission. Now, the transmission's been draining for about a half an hour now, so we've pretty much got all the fluid we're going to get out of it. Yeah, you can stick around. Stick your finger in there, see if there's any big chunks. Yeah, there's nothing. You can feel the differential. She feels nice, happy, feels like a differential. Wipe off your inspection finger. And now you're going to take your wonderful drain plug and a new copper gasket, or old one if you're like me, and thread it back into the hole. Okay, now keep in mind, I would always recommend getting the gasket because I have these things usually around, so if I need it, I can use it. But if you're not a shop like myself and you don't have that stuff kicking around, order it and just replace it for safety's sake. If you are in tune with your car and you know what the thing looks like and you're comfortable reusing it, not a crime. As long as she does the job, it's fine. Grab your torque wrench. Set it to the same amount. I think it is 36.2 foot-pounds or 49 newton meters. You can go with the Jimmy spec and just torque it to 40. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright, I always like checking it twice just because, I don't know, I just do something about me, you know. Just, hey, that's how it happens, you know. Has nothing to do with Christmas or Santa and the list and all that other shit. I don't know why that came to mind anyhow. Maybe because, you know what? Worldpac is playing Christmas jingles. It's fucking October, man. Like, you know, Halloween hasn't even come and gone yet, and we're into Christmas jingles already. Yeah, you know what I think about brake clean in Canada? Wipe it off with a rag. All right. Now, we shall put our wonderful car down and we shall fill it up with some fluid. That's that. And in case you're wondering, you do not need any sort of silicone because it has a copper gasket. Now, I got roughly 3.45 liters out of this thing, and I got 3.5 over here. Honestly, I'm going to dump in the 3.5, and yeah, she shall be fine. In terms of what we have in here, it's 80-90, 75-90 is fine as well. That's probably better for your transmission, but 80-90 is what I got kicking around, which will work and is also recommended. I also put some of this stuff here that's been sitting on my shelf for a long time. Would I recommend you putting this into your vehicle? No. I mean, if you're comfortable with it, whatever. I don't see really much of an issue if it has a manual transmission because they're pretty robust. That being said, we've only put in probably about 200 milliliters of the goopy red stuff, so yeah, it just helps. I want to see personally if it makes a difference. Now, let's go ahead and fill it up. Now, just past this little plug here, where that little kind of oily spot is where our differential fill tube is. So what we need to do is first off, get a fucking light that works, okay? What we need to do is basically pull out our differential plug, or our dip stick. Should be nice and dry. Oh, we got some dirt on it. Very nice. Now we need to find a piece of pipe to shove down in there. We're gonna run our filter or funnel out here somewhere, and then we can fill her up. Okay, so what I have basically is a shaft that goes into there, and just a little 3/4 inch conduit tube or mild steel tube basically, that I have my funnel in. Now, if you don't have the tube, you can access that piece by removing the air duct in both the 2004 and 9. Do you need to? Yeah, not really. Now, in terms of filling it up, I'm gonna, like I say, dump in the full 3.5. Is that the best thing? Yeah, not really. What you want to do is always dump in just shy of whatever it is you drain out. And then you can use your drain plug to tell you what the hell the fluid level is and where you should be. If you overfill it, not the end of the world with a manual transmission. With regards to filling it, if you get out 3.5, throw in 3 liters and top up as needed. Go 100 milliliters each time, and you know, you'll learn to kind of gauge it as need be. be. Don't just fill it up with whatever you drain out because, well, that can be a bit of a pain and it might not be what you need to do for your transmission. Remember, transmission oil and any oil will collect oil or water and condensation as time goes by, artificially raising the level unless it's burning it in some fashion or whatnot. So, or leaking it or whatnot. That being said, hopefully you guys understand that. Now, the camera is right in the way for me to go ahead and start putting fluid in. So I'm going to fill my fluid up off camera. Just go nice and slowly. You don't want the fluid burbling back at you. Well, all you got to do once you fill up the fluid is check it. Once you have the right level, you are good to go. Take it for a test drive. Make sure all is well and your transmission isn't making any funny noises or your differential. And thumbs up, you have successfully swapped out the tranny fluid as well as your differential fluid on your Subaru. That being said, hopefully you found the video entertaining as well as informative. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss one of my new videos. And as always, thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. Peace! Holy fuck. Oh my god, Theo Vaughn. Ridiculously funny, that guy in podcast. Just, he says shit. Oh man. Anyhow, welcome back to the channel. Oh fuck, that's not how that goes. You'll hear tranny. You'll hear tranny. Oopsies. No one wants to save themselves. Okay, raise the car. All right, let's lift this shitbox up. How you? I just fucking had them. Where'd you put them? There it is, fucker. You damn motherfucker. I can't think of anything else that is special shout out to my special shout out. English is my first language, I swear to God. Let's get ratchet. So basically 37 foot-pounds or 35 Newton meters. Now, this wonderful transmission's been draining now for about, I don't know, probably the better half of half an hour. I don't know what the fuck I just said, it didn't make no goddamn sense. Oh, and in case you was wondering, I want to see personally if it makes an effect. Now, I'm right here to go ahead and drain my fluid, now I'm right in the, fuck Jimmy English.